All right, let's get right into it. Today, we are diving deep into one of the trickiest things in the music business, tour support. For any artist out there, when a label offers to bankroll your tour, that feels like you've hit the big time, right? But is it the golden ticket everyone thinks it is? Or is there a catch?
And this, right here, is the big myth. It's the #1 assumption artists make when that offer lands in their inbox. It just feels like a massive vote of confidence, like someone's giving you a blank check to go live your dream on the road. But as we're about to find out, the reality is, well, it's a whole lot more complicated.
So let's start there, with that dream. This idea that tour support is just a gift, a sign that the label is totally behind you, no strings attached whatsoever. And you can totally see why that's so appealing, can't you? It's just so validating. The same people who put up the money for your album are now paying for your tour. It feels like they're not just investing in a project, they're investing in you. That's the emotional hook, and it's a powerful one. But if you look at it from the label side of the desk, it's all business, pure and simple. Tour support isn't really about belief, it's about growing an asset. Think about it. A tour is a marketing machine. It gets people streaming your songs, turns casual listeners into hardcore fans, sells a ton of t-shirts, and gives you a mountain of content for social media. All of that makes their main investment, your music, way more valuable. And that brings us crashing right into the reality of the situation. It's time to pull back the curtain and see what's really going on with that cash. Because here's the spoiler. It's almost never, ever a gift. This right here is the single most important word you need to understand in this whole conversation. Recoupable. So what does that mean? Basically, tour support is a loan. It's a loan that you pay back to the label out of the money you earn from your own record sales and streams. So the label isn't giving you money, they're advancing you your own future earnings. You get to tour now, yeah, but believe me, you pay later.
But what does that look like in the real world? Let's, just break it down with some simple numbers so it's crystal clear.
Okay, so let's say the label fronts you $30,000 for the tour. Awesome. The bus is booked, hotels are covered, you're ready to go. It feels amazing.
Now, at the same time, let's imagine your music's doing pretty well. You're bringing in about $3,000 a month in royalties. This is the money that's supposed to be your paycheck from your music.
You see where this is going, right? You just do the simple math. That $30,000 loan divided by your $3,000 in monthly royalties. Well, that means for the next 10 months, every single penny of your income from record sales goes straight back to the label. You will not see a dime from your music until that debt is paid off.
But wait, it gets trickier. That debt isn't even the only catch. Even with all that cash from the label, the tour itself can still end up losing you money. A lot of it.
See, that support money is earmarked for specific things, the tour bus, the sound guy, the lights. But what it does not cover is a tour that bombs. If you're playing to empty rooms night after night, that financial loss, that's on you. The support helps you get the show on the road. It makes absolutely no guarantee that it'll turn a profit.
And oh man, there are a million ways a tour budget can just completely fall apart. Maybe the guarantees you get from the venues are just way too low. Maybe your tour routing is a total mess and you're just burning cash on gas zigzagging across the country. Or hey, maybe your t-shirts just aren't selling. Any of these things can absolutely sink your budget, and that tour support money isn't going to save you.
So here's the bottom line, the most crucial point. Tour support can create a really dangerous illusion. It feels like you're winning, because you're on a nice bus and playing shows every night. But in reality, you could finish that tour with less money in your pocket than when you started, and now you're in even deeper debt to your label.
Okay, so that was the big warning, the cautionary tale. But it doesn't have to be a total disaster. Let's shift gears and get into the playbook. How do you make tour support actually work for you instead of against you?
Think of this as your pre-tour checklist. First off, you have to negotiate a cap on how much they can spend and then charge back to you. Second, demand to see the numbers, total transparency in the accounting. And this last one is so important, limit cross-collateralization. That's a fancy term for when a label takes money from one thing, like your merch, to pay off a debt from another, like your tour. You have to fight to keep those income streams separate.
So how do you even decide if you should take the money? Well, it's worth it if you're using it as a strategic investment, if it helps you build a real, loyal fan base that will show up for you next time. But if the tourist finances just don't add up and the support is just a band-aid on a much bigger problem, you're probably better off just walking away.
At the end of the day, the smartest way to think about tour support is like it's venture capital for your business. You have to use it strategically. Hit the cities where you already know you have fans, plan a route that actually makes financial sense, and focus on the stuff that makes you real money, like high-margin merch and those VIP meet and greet packages. Use this tour to gather the data you need to demand bigger guarantees next time around.
And that's really what it all boils down to. When that offer shows up, you have to ask yourself one huge critical question. Are you using this money as a stepping stone to build a real, sustainable career? Or are you just taking on a fancier kind of debt to put off the inevitable? Seriously, the answer to that question could define your entire future.